welcome again to another interesting episode on the Love Show Voice of Tomorrow with your regular host, Meg Inabulele Ibe. With me again on the studio is Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo. You're welcome to the studio, man.
And our discussion for today is on the child benefits. Child benefit in Europe has caused a lot of problems, especially in marriages. Child benefit ought to be a blessing to the family for the upkeep of the children and for the family as well. But today reverses the case. It has led to separation and all. So today we would love to hear from Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo, the root cause of this problem, and to also enlighten us on different types of incentives. I call it incentives and bonus, child benefits and all. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll commence with Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo. Welcome back. Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo. As I said earlier, our discussion for today is on child benefits. Tell us more about it.
Thank you. Child benefit, I would say, is just small amounts given to the parents to help in taking care of their children.
They are entitled to it.
When you are a parent, you are entitled to it for the sake of that child. Okay. When you demonstrate you have a child here, and you are able to produce every necessary information, document and all, then you are entitled to the child benefits.
Okay. You said their parents are entitled.
Yes. When they have underage children.
Okay.
Mostly children from birth to 16 years, okay, or 16 to, and even from 16 to 20 when they are still in school.
Okay, which means they are in the care of their parents.
Their parent, or above 20 when the child is disabled.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sandra Faith Irabo. You said something. You said parents are entitled.
Yes.
The one working or the one that is not working. That's where we want to understand.
In most cases, both parents, if they are both working,
okay,
they pay it to one
party.
Yes.
Okay.
The both parents are they in agreement who to collect the child benefit.
Okay.
They don't give it 50%. They do give it 100% to one of the parents.
Okay. So who do you think, if both parents are working, who do you think should be receiving the child benefits? Is it the man or the woman?
I have passed through it,
okay,
so I know what it is. The information you are going to provide normally decide who to receive the benefits. Who to receive the money, as in most cases, are the ones working. Whereby the mother is not working, the father that is working have to apply for that child benefit by producing what we call EZEL. And in that EZEL, it is done January, as from January. You declare what you got in the other year, the amount you got, and what you spent. So from there, they will give you the EZEL, and from that EZEL, you can now apply for benefit for all the people or the children or the family components.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo. Let's go on a quick break again. Sandra said the party that is working is entitled.
Yes.
And there are some working places where the percentage is also high. In other words, it should be in agreement. They should be in agreement who to receive. If both parties are working, then they reach agreement, you will be collecting it. So it is not shared, not 50-50.
It ought not to be shared.
Okay. The reason we are hitting on this point is that child benefits has caused a lot of separation. 2 weeks ago, we saw some families fighting in open market just because of child benefits. No, children are blessings from God. And the benefits that goes with it is something that one should embrace with love, joy. Bringing the benefit is as if it is now bringing problem to the family. That's the reason we are hitting on this point today. So, as you said, they should reach agreement on whom to collect the benefit. Some women, sometimes they can also complain that they paid, there are benefits from them that goes with the husband's salary. Is it true?
First of all, let me just start from this way.
Okay.
A family that fights over the benefits, that shows that it wasn't love that brought them together. They decided to be a family and start having children because they knew there would be paid benefits. So if what brought marriage for condition, that is conditional marriage, because they got married because they know if we have children there will be benefits. If they got married because they love themselves, there is nothing they cannot do together. The children are supposed not to bring problem, not to talk of the benefits assigned to the children bringing problem. Many of us grew up in Nigeria where our parents never received a dime.
Yes.
But they took care of us. If there were no benefit, can't a parent take care of the children they have?
Exactly.
So any parent fighting over benefits, to me, they decide to be together and have children, and it was the benefit that brought them together. When benefits, no matter who receives the benefits, but in most cases, who is responsible for the upkeep of that child
and the house?
In the house, who is taking care? Let's assume both parents are not living together. The child is with the father. The benefit will be supposed to be paid to the father. If the child is not living with the father, is living with the mother, the benefit is supposed to be given to the mother. If even the benefit is not paid to the salary of that father, in as much as they are not living together, he's supposed to send the benefit to whoever is taking care of that child. Let's assume the mother don't have documents, doesn't have anything to apply for. Because when there are procedures to apply for this benefit. Exactly. When you go there, they must ask you about your own documents, whether you are working or you are not working. You know, when you don't have documents, all these offices seems useless to you. So you don't go. But in most cases, many of them go to social services that helps them out of these benefits. Social service help them to pay light bill, gas bill, even pay house rent, even give them money for the upkeep of the family, which is not necessarily the child benefit. So to apply for this benefit, first of all, they ask you how many people in that family and where your residence is based. If all of them have residence in the same place or not. No. Then they ask for IBAN. The IBAN is the bank account of the parent. So that is where both of them will decide who to bring the account out. If it is the man that brought it out and is paid there, produce it and use it for the child. If the woman is the one that brought the IBAN, produce it and they pay the child and pay the money. You bring the money, it's for the upkeep of the child or the children. Then, what I so much want to say is that this benefit is for the children.
Not for the parents.
Not for the parents. That is why they call it child benefit. It is not mother's benefit, neither father's benefit. So that money ought to be kept to be used for the child, or even save it in an account for that child until when that child is big enough to take up his or her responsibility. It's shameful that such amount, mean amount, it's not up to 500 or neither 1,000. It cannot really solve the problem of the family. How will that now bring problem to the family? That is self-centeredness.
So in other words, this child benefit ought to be kept for the children.
For me, yes. It is child benefit.
You save it for them.
Save it
but
for
you
the
can
child,
also
because
use
as a parent, it is your obligation. It is your obligation to take care of the child or children you brought to this world. So you can't say because the government is taking care, you are not spending your money for them. So that child benefit is supposed to be saved for them. Why do you use your money to take care of them?
Thank you, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabor. Let's go on a quick break again. Welcome back. Stay on the Love Show with your regular host, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabor. How do you think parents can manage this child benefit for their children?
A parent that wants the child to really live fine.
Because these children we are talking about, they now understand that there is something that ought to be kept for them.
Yes, you know, our children are very intelligent.
Exactly.
They grew up with other children from other families. They've seen Italian
From
children.
other nationalities.
Yes, they've seen Italian children. When they are up to 18, their parents gift them with a car, or even gift them with a house. Okay, like I can remember there was a time a lady came to me. He said, my child doesn't respect anyone in our family. I said, including you or the father? He said, we are just like a mere sheet of paper before her. She even respects the younger ones
Than the parent.
I said, why? And I said, okay, since I knew the child, I will try and be friendly to the child, then so that I can be able to discuss what really happened. Because according to them, they're taking her to a psychologist with the help of the social service. They've not been able to ascertain the reason why the child is
behaving that way.
But people outside always tell them, it's like you took good care of that, your daughter or your children. They respect people outside. The woman said that within, she always say, this is the child that cannot even tell the daddy good morning, neither me good morning. But people are always complimenting them for taking good care of this child. So there was a time I met this girl in the arena. I greeted her, complimented her how beautiful she is, and I already knew the parents. I don't want her to know I knew the parents. So another day I saw her too. I just told her, let's go to McDonald's. I not to say, no, I don't. I said, no, let's go. If it's only a drink you can take. Then we went. She said she was not taking anything. And I said, okay, you take this €5, buy what you want to buy. So another day she came to this women's center. We cooked together, we ate, and we were just gisting. Then I now asked her, did you gist with your mother like this? Said no, because she doesn't even have time. They don't have the money to give. They don't have time to give. I was shocked. He said when as a girl, if she has anything important she want to discuss with her mother, he's always saying, he said, you know, you Nigerian parent. He said, sikodo. Then I was now laughing. I said, okay. But the important thing I took from my discussion for almost 3 or 4 times we met, though she continued occasionally to come and visit me, was that the parents were always complaining.
Of money or what?
Of money, of everything. All they want is what they want to do in Africa. She said there was a day she now asked the mother, because she doesn't really want to talk with the father, because the father is, according to her, the father is always claiming
right.
He's too right to be judged. So she now asked the mother, when I was growing up, were there no benefits the government was giving to you people for my upkeep? The mother said, hey, yes, they were paying some amount to us. We use it to buy clothes. We use it to buy shoes. The girl said, I was just looking at my mother lying, because there was never a time I saw my mother taking us to the market or supermarket to buy dresses or shoes for us. She always go from one character to the other. She said it get to when she was 16, she was ashamed to wear those things because she might be wearing a shirt from her schoolmates. So it was then she decided to be working, to be buying for herself.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabo, for your words of enlightenment. Please, a word of advice for couples out there that are having issues because of this child benefit, and for people back home that they are taking the matters to. Sometimes they take it back home. I'm just offering, the other party is just enjoying the money, and the people you are reporting to, they don't know how it functions here. A word of advice for them.
I'm not surprised if the problem here is getting to Africa, because most homes here are just living on decoration, fake lives. Their controller are always in Africa, which is very bad. Our parents back home, they don't know what we are passing through here.
This is Europe.
And I always tell them, you don't have enough money to give to your parents at home to live well the way they're supposed to live, for the sacrifice they made for you as their children. Why now bringing problem
to them?
You disturb them for nothing. And those ones, because they so much believe in, we are picking money on the street here, they take this problem to a higher level, not even knowing how to settle the case, forgetting that when they were giving birth to us, nobody gave them child benefits.
No.
All my advice to them is, if you want to be a husband, be you yourself a husband. And if you want to be a wife, be a wife. Don't turn your mother to be the second or unseen wife for your husband. Neither turn your parents, the man, to be your own husband, a representative there that will always tell you what to do here. It is downgrading for people very miles, thousands of miles far away, to start telling you on how to rule your family here in Europe. Within your conscience, you are not a man. Or within your conscience, you are not a woman. When some do come to me to report to me, I always tell them, not everything that happens in a family you need to discuss outside. Because mostly to parents, anything you say, you may forget. Your parents will never forget. And they will use it to work on. The parents of the woman will use it to work on the man. The parents of the man will use it to work on the woman. So we are in abroad here. Let's live our lives here. And be the mother to your children, wife to your husband, husband to your wife. For respect's sake, and to be a good parent, at least save part of it, the child benefit for your children. A child that grew up coming to receive some amount,
tangible,
starting the life from there. Even if the child is working and receiving 3,000 euro, 2,000 from you as what you kept for that child is something. Instead of eating that money, save it aside so that nemesis will not go against you people. Because if both parents are decided to be keeping that money aside for the child,
yes,
I don't see anything that will cause problem or separation for them.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabor, for your words of enlightenment and encouragement. And for couples out there, you've heard from our cultural mediator, Mrs. Sandra Faith Irabor, that child benefit is not mother's benefit, it's not father's benefit, it is child benefit. And that parents ought to save something for their children till when they are of age, so that they can fall back or forge ahead with the little they've saved for them. And for no couples out there that are still taking this matter back home, please, the people back home, they don't know how it functions here. This is Europe. It is high time we wake up to our responsibilities, especially parents, couples out there. Do the right thing. Let your marriage be transparent, and then let God be the judge of it all.
I think we'll use this medium to wish you guys out there Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. Bye-bye.
Bye.